If you've ever wanted to kick a 300-pound gene-forged thug off a 3-story cardboard walkway because he failed a morale check, you have 1990s Games Workshop to thank. Necromunda isn't just another game in the Warhammer 40,000 family. It is the ultimate tabletop cult classic. It's a game where your favorite ganger can survive a plasma shot to the face, acquire a permanent peg leg, develop a severe fear of Escher toxins, and somehow become your squad's MVP. Over 35 years, it evolved from an over-engineered 90s magazine experiment into a cardboard-fueled legend, survived a decade of corporate abandonment, got saved by fan-made rulebooks, and eventually staged one of the greatest comebacks in tabletop history. And with the Necromunda Skirmish update dropping this month, we need to ask, how did a game set in a literal giant pile of industrial trash become Games Workshop's absolute best narrative sandbox? Grab your stub guns. We're going down into the Underhive. Act 1. The Mad Science Experiment. Our story starts in October 1990, inside the pages of White Dwarf magazine. Game design legends Brian Ansell, Rick Priestley, and Nigel Stillman published a series of experimental rules under the title Confrontation. The pitch was simple. Forget massive armies. Let's focus on individual hive gangers fighting over rusted scrap metal. Confrontation introduced concepts that defined modern skirmish gaming: individual stat progression, permanent campaign injuries, vertical terrain play, and gang territory management. The problem? Confrontation was an absolute nightmare to actually play. It had micro-level tracking, complex hit location grids, and so much math that a single firefight took longer than an entire 2,000.40K match. Realizing it was too dense for a commercial release, Games Workshop shelved it. But the core idea survived. They took the lessons from Confrontation, grafted them onto the streamlined framework of Warhammer 40,000 2nd Edition, and prepared for a proper launch. Act 2. The Golden Age of Plastic and Cardboard. In 1995, designers Andy Chambers, Jervis Johnson, and Rick Priestley officially released Necromunda. The boxed set was revolutionary. It didn't just give you House Orlok and House Goliath miniatures. It gave you modular cardboard terrain with interlocking plastic bulkheads. Wargaming was suddenly truly three-dimensional. If you didn't watch your step, line of sight, elevation, ladder climbing, and falling damage would kill you faster than the enemy's heavy stubber. Bathed in the dark Gothic art of John Blanche, the campaign system let fighters gain experience, acquire permanent physical scars, spend credits at the trading post, and expand their turf. The 1996 Outlanders expansion pushed things further, introducing fringe factions like Pit Slaves, Scavies, and the ultra-fanatical Redemptionists, alongside rules for arbitrators, acting as game masters for narrative campaigns. By 1998, Games Workshop consolidated everything into the beloved hardback rulebook. But as the company shifted focus toward mass battle army games like 40K and Warhammer Fantasy, Necromunda was handed off to Fanatic Press, later Specialist Games, and left on corporate backburners. Act 3. The Dark Age and the Heroic Fans. In 2003, Games Workshop released Necromunda Underhive. To lower the cost of entry, out went the 3D cardboard and plastic towers, and in came flat 2D card mats. While easier to set up, it lacked the vertical thrill of the original. Corporate investment waned, and Specialist Games was essentially shuttered. So, did Necromunda die? Not even close. The community stepped up. For over a decade, dedicated fans edited, balanced, and maintained what became known as the Living Rulebook, LRB. Online player communities ran massive global campaigns, keeping the game alive through pure passion while official support was non-existent. Act 4. The Great Reboot. In late 2017, Specialist Games returned with an ambitious reboot. The game received multi-pose plastic kits, 28.5mm bases, tight corridor battles in Zone Mortalis, and a series of detailed hardback expansion books like House of Chains and House of Artifice. The system expanded relentlessly. In 2022, Ash Wastes brought open desert vehicular combat with Ash Waste Nomads and Squat Prospectors. The Aranthian Succession trilogy pushed the global narrative forward. By 2024 and 2025, releases like Hive Secundus introduced survival horror dungeon crawling against Malstrain Genestealers. It was a glorious renaissance, but by 2025, playing a standard campaign required referencing up to 9 different hardback rulebooks. Mechanical bloat had officially returned. Act 5. The New Era, Necromunda Skirmish. Which brings us to today. On August 15th, 2026, Games Workshop officially launched Necromunda Skirmish. Rather than blowing up the system, this update acts as a major consolidation, streamlining 9 years of supplements and rules bloat into a refined framework. 5 major updates stand out in this new edition. Fighter specializations. Standard gangers are no longer generic filler. Recruitment now requires assigning 1 of 8 specializations, such as Gunner, Scout, or Medic, granting a free starting skill that bridges the gap to gang leaders. Rebalanced melee. Close combat resolves strictly in initiative order. Out-of-turn defenders are restricted to a single reaction attack, preventing high-powered melee models from sweeping entire squads single-handedly. Unified bottle checks. Individual cool checks are replaced by a single gang-wide bottle check, tested against the highest remaining leadership stat on the field. Card-driven territories. Scenario generation and territory traits are card-driven. Controlling specific turf applies direct combat modifiers, like Escher Synth Stills, granting +1 armor penetration to toxic weapons during battles for that territory. Underhive journals. Heavy hardbacks are replaced by lightweight modular paperback Underhive journals that deliver focused campaign paths and localized gang variants. Conclusion. From a complex 1990 magazine prototype to a 3D cardboard icon preserved by fan communities and modernized into a massive tabletop universe, Necromunda continues to prove it is indestructible. Are you running the new Necromunda Skirmish rules this year? Which clan house are you taking into the deep Underhive? Drop your gang setups in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button and subscribe for more tabletop retrospectives and campaign breakdowns. Until next time, keep your head down in the Underhive.